I need some help with a matching question about authors and their works in ancient Indian linguistics. Can we go through it together?
What are the items we need to match?
We need to match the following books: Mahabhasya, Astadhya, Vakyapadaya, and Siddhanta Kaumudi with their authors. The authors are Bhartrhari, Patanjali, Panini, and Bhattacharya.
Alright, let's start with Mahabhasya.
Mahabhasya is authored by Patanjali. It's a major commentary on Panini's Astadhya.
Correct. So, Mahabhasya matches with Patanjali.
Next, we have Astadhya.
Astadhya is authored by Panini. It's one of the foundational texts in Sanskrit grammar.
Right. So, Astadhya matches with Panini.
Now, let's look at Vakyapadaya.
Vakyapadaya is authored by Bhartrhari. It's a treatise on the philosophy of language and grammar.
Exactly. So, Vakyapadaya matches with Bhartrhari.
Finally, we have Siddhanta Kaumudi.
Siddhanta Kaumudi is authored by Bhattacharya. It's a commentary that simplifies and explains Panini's Astadhya.
Great. So, Siddhanta Kaumudi matches with Bhattacharya.
Let's put it all together: Mahabhasya, Patanjali, Astadhya, Panini, Vakyapadaya, Bhartrhari, and Siddhanta Kaumudi, Bhattacharya. This matches the option Mahabhasya, Patanjali, Astadhya, Panini, Vakyapadaya, Bhartrhari, Siddhanta Kaumudi, Bhattacharya.
Can you help me with a matching question about authors and their works in sociolinguistics? We also need to include the publication dates.
What are the items we need to match?
We need to match the following: Fasold, R. Chambers, J.K. LeBoeuf, W. and Gumpers and Himes with their corresponding books and publication dates. The books are Sociolinguistic Patterns, Sociolinguistics of Society, Directions in Sociolinguistics, and Sociolinguistic Theory.
Alright, let's start with Fasold, R.
Fasold, R. wrote Sociolinguistics of Society, published in 1984.
Correct. So, Fasold, R. matches with Sociolinguistics of Society, 1984.
Next, we have Chambers, J.K.
Chambers, J.K. authored Sociolinguistic Theory, published in 1995.
Right. So, Chambers, J.K. matches with Sociolinguistic Theory, 1995.
Now, let's look at LeBoeuf, W.
LeBoeuf, W. wrote Sociolinguistic Patterns, published in 1972.
Exactly. So, LeBoeuf, W. matches with Sociolinguistic Patterns, 1972.
Finally, we have Gumpers and Himes.
Gumpers and Himes edited Directions in Sociolinguistics, published in 1972.
Great. So, Gumpers and Himes matches with Directions in Sociolinguistics, 1972.
Let's put it all together: Fasold, R. Sociolinguistics of Society, 1984, Chambers, J.K., Sociolinguistic Theory, 1995, LeBoeuf, W. Sociolinguistic Patterns, 1972, and Gumpers and Himes, Directions in Sociolinguistics, 1972. This matches the option Fasold, R. Sociolinguistics of Society, Chambers, J.K., Sociolinguistic Theory, LeBoeuf, W. Sociolinguistic Patterns, Gumpers and Himes, Directions in Sociolinguistics.
Can you help me with a matching question about linguistic features and the languages in which they appear?
What are the items we need to match?
We need to match the following linguistic features: velar nasal in word initial position, bilabial stop aspiration, numeral classifier, and SVO word order with their corresponding languages. The language groups are English, Khasi, Greek, Hindi, Bili, Kannada, Khasi, Swahili, Ingonisan, Maithili, Khasi, Vietnamese.
Alright, let's start with velar nasal in word initial position.
The velar nasal in word initial position is a feature found in Khasi, Swahili, and Ingonisan. Khasi is well known for this feature.
Correct. So, velar nasal in word initial position matches with Khasi, Swahili, Ingonisan.
Next, we have bilabial stop aspiration.
Bilabial stop aspiration is a feature found in Hindi, Bili, and Kannada. These languages commonly exhibit aspirated bilabial stops.
Right. So, bilabial stop aspiration matches with Hindi, Billy, Kannada.
Now, let's look at numeral classifier.
Numeral classifier is a feature found in Maithili, Khasi, and Vietnamese. These languages use classifiers with numerals.
Exactly. So, numeral classifier matches with Maithili, Khasi, Vietnamese.
Finally, we have SVO word order.
SVO word order is typical of English, Khasi, and Greek. These languages predominantly follow the subject-verb-object order.
Great. So, SVO word order matches with English, Khasi, Greek.
Let's put it all together. Velar nasal and word initial position, Khasi, Swahili, Ginazan. Bilabial stop aspiration, Hindi, Billy, Kannada. Numeral classifier, Maithili, Khasi, Vietnamese. And SVO word order, English, Khasi, Greek. This matches the option velar nasal and word initial position, Khasi, Swahili, Ginazan. Bilabial stop aspiration, Hindi, Billy, Kannada. Numeral classifier, Maithili, Khasi, Vietnamese. SVO word order, English, Khasi, Greek.
Can you help me with a matching question about different types of lexical databases and their explanations?
What are the items we need to match?
We need to match the following lexical database types: dictionary, thesaurus, glossary, and wordbook with their corresponding explanations. The explanations are alphabetical arrangement of words with lexicographic details, thematic classification of words, explanation of concepts of the terms and words, and presentation of domain-based conceptual equivalents.
Alright, let's start with dictionary.
A dictionary is characterized by an alphabetical arrangement of words with lexicographic details. It includes definitions, pronunciations, and usage examples.
Correct. So, dictionary matches with alphabetical arrangement of words with lexicographic details.
Next, we have thesaurus.
A thesaurus involves the thematic classification of words. It groups words by their meanings and synonyms rather than alphabetically.
Right. So, thesaurus matches with thematic classification of words.
Now, let's look at glossary.
A glossary provides an explanation of concepts of the terms and words. It's often found at the end of books, providing definitions for specific terms used within the text.
Exactly. So, glossary matches with explanation of concepts of the terms and words.
Finally, we have wordbook.
A word book is known for the presentation of domain-based conceptual equivalents. It's used to explain words and concepts within a specific domain or field.
Great. So, wordbook matches with presentation of domain-based conceptual equivalents.
Let's put it all together. Dictionary, alphabetical arrangement of words with lexicographic details. Thesaurus, thematic classification of words. Glossary, explanation of concepts of the terms and words. And wordbook, presentation of domain-based conceptual equivalents. This matches the option dictionary, alphabetical arrangement of words with lexicographic details. Thesaurus, thematic classification of words. Glossary, explanation of concepts of the terms and words. Wordbook, presentation of domain-based conceptual equivalents.
Can you help me with a question about the chronological order of the emergence of different linguistic theories and subfields?
What are the theories and subfields we need to arrange?
We need to arrange the following: philology, behaviorism, generative grammar, historical linguistics, and structural linguistics. The options are historical linguistics, behaviorism, generative grammar, philology, structural linguistics, philology, historical linguistics, behaviorism, structural linguistics, generative grammar, philology, historical linguistics, structural linguistics, behaviorism, and behaviorism, historical linguistics, philology, generative grammar, structural linguistics.
Alright, let's start with philology.
Philology is the earliest of these fields. It dates back to the classical study of language and literature, focusing on the historical development and relationships of languages.
Correct. So, philology should be first.
Next, we have historical linguistics.
Historical linguistics emerged as a distinct field in the 19th century, building on the work of philologists, but focusing more on the systematic study of language change over time.
Right. So, historical linguistics comes after philology.
Now, let's look at behaviorism.
Behaviorism became influential in the early to mid-20th century, especially with B.F. Skinner's work on language learning through stimulus-response mechanisms.
Yes. So, behaviorism follows historical linguistics.
Next is structural linguistics.
Structural linguistics, associated with Ferdinand de Saussure, also emerged in the early 20th century, but gained prominence a bit after behaviorism.
Exactly. So, structural linguistics comes after behaviorism.
Finally, we have generative grammar.
Generative grammar was introduced by Noam Chomsky in the late 1950s, focusing on the innate aspects of language structure.
Correct. So, generative grammar is the most recent of these fields.
Let's put it all together: philology, historical linguistics, behaviorism, structural linguistics, and generative grammar. This matches the option philology, historical linguistics, behaviorism, structural linguistics, generative grammar, which corresponds to philology, historical linguistics, behaviorism, structural linguistics, generative grammar.
Can you help me with a question about the order of vowels based on their height from high to low?
What are the vowels we need to arrange?
We need to arrange the following vowels: A ligature, E acute, E and I. The options are I, E acute, A ligature, I, A ligature, E acute, E acute, I, A ligature, and E ligature, E acute, I.
Alright, let's start with the highest vowel. The highest vowel here is I.
Right. I is a high front vowel.
Next, we have E. It's a mid-high front vowel, lower than I but higher than the others.
Exactly. So, E comes after I.
Then we have E acute. It's a mid-low front vowel, lower than E.
Correct. E acute comes after E.
Finally, we have A ligature. It's a low front vowel, the lowest among the vowels listed here.
Right. So, the correct order from high to low is I, E acute, A ligature.
Let's put it all together: I highest, E acute, A ligature lowest. This matches the option I, E acute, A ligature, which corresponds to I, E acute, A ligature.
Okay, now, we need to arrange the following: morphology, syntax, phonology, discourse, and semantics.
Alright, let's start with sound. The first level we need is phonology. Phonology is the study of sounds in a language.
Next, we have morphology. Morphology is the study of the structure of words and how they are formed from morphemes, which are the smallest units of meaning.
Then we have syntax. Syntax is the study of the structure of sentences and how words combine to form grammatical sentences.
Now, let's look at semantics. Semantics is the study of meaning in language, including how words and sentences convey meaning.
Finally, we have discourse. Discourse is the study of language and context and how it is used in communication, including larger units of language like paragraphs and conversations.
Let's put it all together: phonology, sound, morphology, syntax, semantics, discourse, situation. This matches the option phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, discourse.
I need your help with a question about the sequence of tasks in creating a language model in NLP. Can we go through it together?
What are the tasks we need to arrange?
We need to arrange the following tasks: training the model, creation of goal data set, testing the model, and evaluating the model.
Alright, let's start with the first task. The first step should be the creation of gold dataset. This involves preparing a high-quality, annotated dataset that will be used as a reference for training and evaluating the model.
Correct. Creation of goal dataset should be first.
Next, we need to train the model. Once we have our gold dataset, We can use it to train our language model.
Right. Training the model comes after creation of gold dataset.
Then, we need to test the model. After training, we test the model to see how well it performs on unseen data.
Exactly. Testing the model comes after training the model.
Finally, we evaluate the model. Evaluation involves assessing the model's performance based on various metrics to understand its effectiveness and identify areas for improvement.
Great. Evaluating the model should be last.
Let's put it all together: creation of gold dataset, training the model, testing the model, and evaluating the model. This matches the option creation of gold dataset, training the model, testing the model, evaluating the model, which corresponds to creation of gold dataset, training the model, testing the model, evaluating the model.